We're back. We missed you guys, which is why we're now back in action. Now, I'm sure you're wondering where we've been, but you know what? That's not important. We're here today to tell you a very, very important message, and that's the reason why we restarted the channel.
So much has changed just over the last 1 year alone. More and more jobs have been taken away, not by human beings, but by AI, by machines, robots. So that's where the world is headed towards. The unemployment rates are increasing. So isn't it more important to be more aware about where your job security is? Shouldn't you be doing more things to break out the rat race and get out?
On a personal level, we've been working for 20 over years, right, before we retired. I've never ever had so many close friends not employed at this current moment. Never. So just by using my own inner circle, this is indicating that the worst is yet to come.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with us, here's a reintroduction of who we are. We are Fran and John, the corporate breakout couple, and we've been early retired and financially independent since 2020 at the age of 40. So we've been corporate rats for 15 and 17 years respectively. We've been hawkers for 2 years. We broke out several times and finally got retired at the age of 40. And it's been 6 years since then. We would really like to encourage you, for those of you especially having that desire to break out the rat race because you're so tired with your job, you want to try something different, you want to find ways and means, this channel is for you. So please like and subscribe to this channel where we'll share more, we'll impart more, we'll expound more on all the things we have learned so far.
As the world gets darker and darker and people are really scared about their job security, they might even lose their jobs tomorrow, they never know, the more they are looking out for alternative ways of income. And guess what? The FIRE concept has been literally catching fire, especially in Asia, in the last 1 year.
But you know what's funny? We're actually not FIRE. We are actually not actively practicing FIRE. And our friend from Financial Coconut has picked this out very astutely and called us the cash flow couple. And over the course of time, we actually like to explain to you the concepts and the methods that we practice to get to early retirement and financial independence, where we'll have continuous flow of cash flow to keep us retired so that we can continue to passionately do the things that we love. Cash flow is the core of how we approach our finances. If you want to retire somewhere, we make sure that we have the cash flow for it. Many of you who have been following this channel for a while know that Fran and I are multi-asset class investors with investments in real estate, paper assets, precious metals such as gold and silver. So you know that a core foundation of how we get retired is passive income that continues to grow and grow as we get older. So as it is, this freedom from our cash flow frees up the time to really not think about money, to have money handled, so that we can really go about doing the things that we really want to do.
The traditional method that we've been taught in school by our parents and the world in general is that you work hard, you save money, save for your retirement, and at the age of 55, then 60, and now it's 65, then you can have a very modest retirement. The thing is, guys, it's now 2026 and the world does not look like how it was in the 1980s, 1990s, and even in the early 2000s. Take a look. When you are stressed and you're already in your, let's say, mid-40s to early 50s, you want to take a break. You look at your bank account. Sure, there's a few $100,000 in your bank account sitting comfortably. You go, okay, maybe I can afford to take a year off, to give myself a sabbatical, to give myself a break. I've been working for 20, 30 years non-stop. Let's do it. Now, what happens though if you don't have any other sources of income coming in? That $100,000, $200,000, even $400,000 to $500,000, it actually dwindles down really quickly. Why? Because you've got your mortgage, you've got your car payments, and with those who have kids, you've got your kids' education, right? So even though your mind, your body is screaming for a break, right? Honestly, a lot of times people can't do it, and that's when mental health issue comes in. Depression, anxiety, and even, honestly, suicidal thoughts.
That's the reason why cash flow freedom is even more important now, because you want to have money flowing in continuously and you want that money to grow as inflation goes higher and higher. You want to be able to afford more things in your older age, especially medical when you are retired. So that's why you need to have this concept of continuous growth and continuously growing your cash flow as you age. Through our many years of experience being corporate employees, being entrepreneurs, being business owners, as well as multi-asset class investors, we would like to share with you that there are few critical parts that you need in order to quit your job boldly. And the first one we'd like to share today is your mindset. You need to hone your mindset to a place of abundance. You need to be able to think so abundantly, think in terms of opportunities instead of scarcity. And you need to stop downplaying your ability to break out and build new skills that can take you further and further as you grow older.
Now, of course, that being said, we keep saying mindset, mindset. Oh, Fran and John, it's so easy for you to say. But what is it really all about? At the end of the day, it really starts in here, because if you think you can do it, your battle is already half won. Now, what does that mean? It means that, first of all, do you really truly believe that you can really break out of the corporate rat race and really quit your job boldly? That's the first thing that you gotta believe. Do you really believe? Because let's face it, honestly, if you're an employee right now, the decision to not have a job is actually not up to you, right? Because a lot of times, how many times have we read in the papers, people wake up, they log into their computer on the work computer, and then they found out, oh, why is my access taken away? Why am I locked out of my work computer? Because guess what? They've been retrenched, right? So at the end of the day, we like to think that we hold the power of our job in our hands. Sadly, right now, this is really not the case. So you really need to start to think and look at alternative ways to make other sources of income and stop relying on your one and only job.
Don't forget that other sources of income is all contributing back to you. Whereas the skill that you are kind of building is spending your 9 to 6 every day is for your company, for a specific role, a specific KPI that's benefiting the company much more than for yourself. So think about that.
And you also need to look at your identity. Are you tying your identity to your job? Say, for example, you're a software engineer. Do you introduce yourself and say, hi, I'm Eric, I'm a software engineer? Now, this is very dangerous. When you tie your identity to your job, what happens when that job gets taken away from you, right? Especially if you are in your middle 40s, early 50s, even late 30s, right? A lot of times you do tie your identity to your job because you've been working at that role or at that job for a number of years now. So you have to start thinking about shifting your mindset. So this is where the mindset comes in. You have to shift your belief. You have to shift your mindset to a place where you go, okay, I am not my job. Therefore, when I lose my job as a software engineer, I'm still me. Then comes the question, who are you, right? And that's where, again, your belief, your mindset needs to come in. You need to be very confident to know that, okay, if I lose this job, yes, I may not have a big cushion right now, but guess what? The best time to start is today. Now that you've got your mindset handled, the second critical part is financial literacy. I'm sure you've all read reports, news, even heard of friends who are a high income earner, they earn a fantastic income, but yet they seem to be living paycheck to paycheck and they always seem to be broke, right? But at the same time, there you go, you open their Instagram and they're yet on another vacation, they have just bought a new Mercedes, things like that, and you're wondering, how come? How come they claim to be in a high-paying job, which you are because you check their LinkedIn, right? And they are a senior manager, a VP, a director, or so and so. But they seem to be, like when you talk to them, right? You just know that they aren't as well off as you think they are.
One of the quick ways to realize whether a person has financial literacy or not is when you observe them spending money. So you roughly know where they are at based on their job title. And if you see the way they spend money, and if you notice they spend money frivolously on material things, on things that don't make them money in the process, not in assets, in other words, then you will know how low their financial literacy is. And guess what? Financial literacy is just like health. Everybody is responsible for their own financial literacy. If you don't bother to exercise your brain to learn, whether it's reading about financial news, budgeting, actively tracking your budget, managing it, and also thinking of ways how you can invest money, make it grow for you. All these parts of financial literacy, if a person is not doing anything about it at all, then I will say, just like your health, this person is in poor health and poor financial health.
If you want to know how financially literate someone is, just look at the way they spend money. Do they, after spending, let's say for a meal, do they note that budget down? Do they actually have an app? Do they track their spending? Because, you know, we live in a very materialistic world nowadays, right? Going out for lunch with friends, going out lunch with the family, and then you stop by the convenience store, you stop by the supermarket, the bill adds up, right? And then you've got your subscriptions on a monthly basis, you've got the bills, you've got, you know, ad hoc, you've got going away parties, you've got birthday parties, you have funerals, you've got all these things which come in, and if you don't have a budget to it, you'll see that your income or your fixed amount in your bank account, it actually dwindles really fast. And then at the end of the month, you go, oh my goodness, where did all my money go? Well, there you go. If you don't track your money, you have no idea where it goes. How then are you able to build a nest egg? Let's not even talk about investing, but just building a nest egg big enough, large enough for you to retire comfortably.
In short, if you don't up your financial literacy level, it is unlikely you're going to have a great retirement. In fact, you might not even be able to retire at the age that you want. The third critical part is execution. Yes, it's all about execution. And I learned this during my hawker days, where we had a hawker business for 2 years. Guess what? My planning took 2 years for us as well. Working out all the numbers, the business plan, you know, because my experience is actually in business development. And then, you know, the different scenarios, and you know, plan A doesn't work, we go to plan B and all that. And guess what? During the first month of our business, everything has to change, because reality is not what I thought, is not what we thought. So that's the thing. Execution is the key, because when we are in the mode of execution, it's much easier to pivot and get better from there. Fail fast, fail forward. That's how we learn fast, rather than not taking action and all, and just, you know, having all the scenarios thinking in your head. For those of you who like to think a lot, this is something for you, and that includes me as well. So in today's time, I actually don't think about so much, rather I don't plan as much as I do. Have that 1-2 plan, exit strategy, calculate my runway, the numbers, let's go. So it's 90% execution for me now and 10% planning.
As you can tell, John's the planner and I'm the doer, so I'm the action taker. However, that being said, I cannot also just take action without a plan, and he also cannot just plan and then take no action. It's actually a combination of both, and which is why we work really well together, because sometimes I don't plan and then I take action, and obviously that doesn't turn out so well. And of course, if he plans and then we don't take action, then nothing changes, right? So you gotta know yourself as well. Are you the action taker, or are you the planner? If you're just the action taker with no plan, you gotta incorporate a plan. If you're the planner and you have trouble pulling the trigger, that's when you need a lot of, you know, confidence, and you know, just do it. Because we've got a lot of entrepreneurial friends, right? A lot of friends who run businesses, and really at the end of the day, no great idea can come to fruition if nobody pulls the trigger and goes for it, right? Because all entrepreneurs will tell you the same thing. You just do the leap of faith and jump, right? And then you figure out along the way. In fact, many years ago, we created a video called Ready, Fire, Aim. Well, guys, go and watch it, right? It's really, and we actually went to the archery range to actually film that video, because it's really about, you know, when you're ready, you aim and then you fire. But a lot of times people are stuck in the aiming phase, right? They aim. Let me adjust my aim, right? Let me get it perfect. But there's no way you can get it perfect. Even the best archers in the world, they don't always get their shots the most accurate. They don't always hit the bullseye. So you really got to put into practice. Just jump and start doing and take the action, which is why it's called ready, fire, and then you aim. So you fire, you see where your target lands, and then you adjust, you fire again. So you just keep firing, right? So you got to be ready first, and then you fire. Don't just be on the aiming, because you're not going to get anywhere, honestly.
And guess what? For us, because we have fired so many times, we have tried so many different things, different types of active income, passive income skills that we have built, it gets so much easier for us to just start something new and just go and do it. You know, the mind, that's why the mindset is so important, doesn't stop us from, oh, what if. Those kind of scenarios don't come up anymore. So for us, let's try something new. Okay, let's have a bit of a base plan. Okay, let's go. Let's do it, right? Don't think so much.
So, you know, we are back in Singapore now, and sometimes I've not met friends who I've met, you know, over many years. And a lot of times you go, oh, friend, what have you been up to? do? Honestly, I hesitate on what to tell them because so much things have happened to me. Let's say I've not met this friend over the last 5-6 years. Oh my God, I do not know where to start because we've got so many things that we've done over the last 6 years that I go, wow, I have no idea what to share with you. But let me give you a quick recap, right? But that quick recap ended up being like, a half an hour to an hour because so much things have happened. We've done so many things in our lives in just, let's say since the hawker, right, 2018 until now 2026, that, we've become so comfortable at being uncomfortable that being uncomfortable is our new normal.
So guys, these 3 critical parts, your mindset, financial literacy, as well as execute. These are 3 critical parts that you really need to work on in order for you to build your confidence to quit your job boldly. And in order to do that, right, you need to just take action. Don't think about it so much. Just go and do, try, fail along the way. It's fine because these are the best learning lessons. And hopefully you can build your financial independence. You can be cash flow rich like us, where we have a lot of money coming in that supports our expenses so that we don't have to think about it so much. Then we can do the things that we really like, such as this, to add value to other people so that we have a bigger impact in this world. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy it. Do like and subscribe to our channel, and we are back and we'll continue to create more content like this. See you.
Bye guys.